Good evening, you are tuning in to AWANI Tonight with me, Cynthia Ng. A member of the cabinet resigns and Zahid claims Muhyiddin has lost the majority. What is next in Malaysian politics? That's coming up. AMNO has decided to withdraw support for the Perikatan National Government barely a month after it officially retracted support for Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin as Prime Minister. AMNO President Datuk Sri Ahmad Zaid Hamidi made the announcement this evening following an emergency Supreme Council meeting. 10 other AMNO MPs stood by Zahid as he broadcast the announcement live. Zahid claimed he has enough statutory declarations or SDs from among his party's MPs to see to the collapse of the Perikatan government, and he said that Muhyiddin's leadership has lost the majority. He also said he has presented some of the SDs to the Yang di-Pertuan Agong in the recent audience that he had sought. Zahid's announcement is the latest blow to the Perikatan government, whose legitimacy is currently being disputed by opposition MPs following the royal rebuke on the revocation of the emergency ordinances recently. Energy and Natural Resources Minister Datuk Sri Syamsul Anwar Nasara has resigned from Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin's cabinet, citing loyalty to his party, AMNO. The Lenggong MP thanked Muhyiddin for giving him an opportunity to serve and the AMNO leadership for nominating him as a minister. Syamsul, who is an elected member of AMNO's Supreme Council, said he will now focus his efforts on serving his constituents and working for the party. This is a developing situation, but we do want to know at this juncture how tenable is Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin's administration. Joining me right now is Mujibu Abdul Muiz from the Faculty of Administrative Science and Policy Studies of UiTM. Mujibu, first of all, thank you for being here with us. We know that for weeks now, AMNO, the party, has already withdrawn support for the Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin. But why did the resignation from Syamsul Anwar came in today?
Okay, thank you, Cynthia, and a very good night to you. Generally speaking, everybody are aware that the AMNO decision to stop supporting Tan Sri Muhyiddin as Prime Minister was made long ago. There are many attempts, I think, both individually and collectively by AMNO on this, but we can simply say that they are unsuccessful due to several reasons. But I believe mostly it is due to AMNO is not united and AMNO is lack of clear direction on its leadership upon collaboration with Perikatan Nasional, as well as accepting Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin as the Prime Minister. So for me, the resignation of Datuk Sri Syamsul Anwar Nasara today is not surprising because his name has been mentioned to resign from his post during the audio recording leakage after AMNO General Assembly this year. So personally, I don't have any idea why this happened today, but to speculate that this recent development on Perikatan Nasional may be seen as suitable time for his resignation by AMNO members. So from the other perspective that we need to see is from the AMNO non-minister perspective. Yeah, because what happened today may be seen as a bad for AMNO's reputation, because the clash with monarch is the last thing for any political party want to be associated with from this development.
Now, taking your point, yes, please continue.
Okay. But still, I believe it is still too early to speculate anything because we are not yet receiving any response from the AMNO ministers. Right. Because what we have heard from Padang Besar MP and Deputy Minister of Communication and Multimedia today, he claimed that there are 40 BN members of Parliament and 3 PKR members still supporting the Prime Minister. So let us see what next on this and where it is going to lead us from here.
Right, I'm going to pick your point about other AMNO members, whereby 8 of them still hold cabinet posts. Do you expect to see more resignations from AMNO in the next couple of days?
I think this is the most interesting to see upon all of the situation that we have experienced today. It seems that appointing, for me, it seems that appointing members of AMNO to Deputy Prime Minister and upgrading one to senior post minister are not enough to please AMNO. And in the meantime, as I said before, we still do not get any response from the AMNO ministers on this recent development, which is, for me, it is very important for two things to clarify everything. Number one, Perikatan National Survival, and number two, this is also a big test for AMNO leadership as well as their solidarity to be seen as a solid and united political party. But personally, I will expect that the AMNO minister will support the Prime Minister based on what was happened after AMNO's General Assembly in March, when the resolution to stop supporting the Prime Minister and urge all AMNO ministers to resign by the General Assembly decision was not obeyed during the time.
Mujibu, we have yet to hear anything from the Prime Minister's office. What is the best course of action for him, in your opinion?
Okay, I think this is very suitable to quote an English idiom that said that don't cry over a spilled milk. So for me, the best way is just don't deny or diverting the issues anymore. Just admit it. That is the best way for the Prime Minister office to do this thing. But still, you have to remember that whatever AMNO decided today is not giving any legal implication. This is in line with Article 43 of Federal Constitution that's clearly stated that any support or any decision upon the Prime Minister must be decided by the 222 sitting members of Parliament in Dewan Rakyat. So AMNO decision today is a party decision, and I believe it does not carry any merits on Prime Minister position. But morally speaking, any sitting Prime Minister that have to face this problem must be gentle and openly accept that the defeat is in his side, and he is no longer command a support to need to continue. So for me, only two options that may be exercised upon this situation based on Article 43 of the Federal Constitution, either is to resign gently or ask the Yang di-Pertuan Agong for his consideration to dissolve Parliament, which is, I believe, it is not desired during this time due to the hard time that we are facing because of pandemic COVID-19. So this is maybe my opinion upon the development and what shall the Prime Minister office do for the time being.
All right. Thank you so much to Mujibu. That was Mujibu Abdul Muiz, political analyst at UiTM. We will be staying on this developing situation tonight. Zahid's move has raised many questions and possible scenarios. Will UMNO's withdrawal for support for Muhyiddin lead to a decisive change in government, or has the stalemate deepened? Tonight on Consider This, we will be taking a closer look at Perikatan Nasional's crisis of legitimacy. That's coming up right after AWANI tonight. A motion to debate and annul the emergency ordinances will be tabled in the upcoming Parliament meeting in September. Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin, in a statement today, said the revocation process by the Yang di-Pertuan Agong, as advised by the Cabinet on July 23rd, could not be completed. Based on the statement, the government has in fact failed in its bid to revoke the emergency ordinances as announced on July 26 and will now look to table the matter for debate when the Dewan Rakyat reconvenes next month. Muhyiddin added that the issue that the ordinances not being consented to by the King does not arise anymore as the emergency proclamation expires on August 1st. He said the motion, which will be deliberated on at the Cabinet meeting tomorrow, is hoped to be able to address the polemic involving the revocation of the ordinances in a harmonious and constitutional manner. Malaysia received 415,000 doses of AstraZeneca vaccines donated by the United Kingdom today. Minister in charge of vaccination, Khairi Jamaluddin, says the contribution will be a boost to the national COVID-19 immunization program. The consignment was flown in via Emirates Airlines, which landed at KLIA at 2:20 p.m.
We are thankful to the UK government for this extremely timely contribution, which will ensure the massive ramp-up of vaccinations in Malaysia is continued. right through August and September. We currently have the highest vaccination rate daily per capita in the world, which exceeds other countries.
The UK vaccine supply is the fourth contribution from foreign countries to Malaysia, including 998,400 doses of AstraZeneca vaccine by Japan, 1,350,000 doses of Pfizer from the United States, and 500,000 doses of the Sinovac vaccine by China. Kyrie has said that 40% of adults are expected to be fully vaccinated by August 31st. We will take a quick break. Stay with us. Welcome back. China's Wuhan will test its 12 million population for COVID-19 after the city reported its first local infection in more than a year. The measures came after the city, where the virus first emerged late in 2019, reported 3 locally transmitted infections yesterday. Wuhan, which gave the world its first glimpses of lockdowns and mass testing, had reported no local COVID cases since mid-May last year. But on Monday, authorities confirmed 3 new cases of the Delta variant. A city official said its residents will undergo nucleic acid testing to fully screen out positive results and asymptomatic infections. Other major cities, including Beijing, recently tested millions as authorities placed stricter measures to contain the spread of the Delta variant. China reported 61 domestic cases nationwide today. An outbreak that started among airport cleaners in Nanjing has reached dozens of cities. Japan will only hospitalize COVID-19 patients who are seriously ill and those at risk of becoming so. The medical system is strained following a sharp rise in cases, and Japan is recording more than 10,000 daily new infections nationwide. Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga said the government would ensure people isolating at home can be hospitalized if necessary. Previous policy had focused on hospitalizing a broader category of patients. But some worry the shift could lead to more deaths. Suga today raised concerns over growing infections among young people. He said cases are surging among Japanese in their 20s and 30s, while more of those in their 40s and 50s are getting seriously ill. Authorities in Australia's New South Wales may ease its COVID-19 lockdown if 50% of the state's population is vaccinated. Lifting restrictions in the most populous state of 5 million people would be a boost for Prime Minister Scott Morrison, who is under tremendous pressure for a sluggish vaccine rollout. State Premier Gladys Berejiklian said restrictions could be eased if 6 million people are vaccinated by the time lockdown is due to be lifted end of the month. She did not say exactly how many in New South Wales were fully vaccinated as of today, but said the state is on course to meet its vaccination target. Australia's vaccination rollout has hit several roadblocks due to changing medical advice on AstraZeneca doses over blood clot concerns, as well as supply constraints for Pfizer vaccines. New South Wales today reported another 199 locally acquired cases in the past 24 hours. The target in New South Wales comes just days after Morrison promised lockdowns would be less likely once the country inoculates 70% of its population above 16 years of age, a long way from the current 19% level.
Australians who've had
That is all we have for you on AWANI tonight. Get the latest news updates on COVID-19 and COVID-19 vaccines from astroawani.com and Astro AWANI app. I'm Cynthia and we'll see you again.
Factories have been at the receiving end of